let's have a look at how I did with my 2022 reading goals. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is an act of self-torture. Before we jump into that though, make sure you're checking the description box down below for links to my social media and Discord, should you want to come along for the ride. Before I came on BookTube, I had a Bookstagram. Well, I still have a Bookstagram, but I was more active over there while I was umming and ahhing about coming onto this platform. At the end of 2021, I put up a series of 4 posts, I believe it was. We've got 5 posts of books that I wanted to get to in 2022. And I thought, how fun. I can put them on the screen and see what I actually read versus what I didn't. So we're going to do that today. I don't know if I've met a single one of these goals. It's going to be an experience for both of us. But to do that, I actually need to open the program. So we're going on Instagram. And we're going to have a look at all the goals that I set for myself to see if perhaps I've done anything. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to check are the series TBR that I had for myself in 2022. These are series I wanted to start and at least read 1 or 2 books in them, and I'm looking at it now and it's not good. But let's just put it on the screen and you can have a look as well. In 2022, I wanted to read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I did not read that. I also wanted to read the Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab, and again, I did not read that. I did read the Night Angel trilogy by Brent Weeks, who since has announced a 4th book, and now I haven't completed that series. So I'm going to take it as a win and say that I read that because I did. I also wanted to read the, I don't know what the series is called, but the Brian Staveley series that came before The Empire's Ruin on the screen. And Roger, I think, started it. Yeah, he read it, and it wasn't his favorite. I said a lot of people who did this with the Library of Alexandria, it wasn't their favorite reads. I personally think that it may work for me better, but I just didn't pick it up. I did not get there. The next one was the Book of the Ancestor by Mark Lawrence. This was the one starting with Red Sister. It's on the screen. I'm just looking at it here. And I did not read that either. I am very interested in reading this series. It just kept getting pushed off the TBR and I didn't read it. This is likewise with the 5th season. And is this the... I don't know what that series is called. Whatever the series is called, the 5th season is part of the Broken Earth trilogy, maybe, by N.K. Jemisin. I did not read that. We are 1 for 6 so far, so awesome. The next one that I wanted to read was the Green Bone Saga by Fonda Lee. I did read and really enjoyed that in 2022. So I got 2. I also did read the Millennium Trilogy, which started with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. So I read 3. I read 3 out of 8 series that I had planned to read in 2022. We didn't even get a passing grade. It wasn't even like where your teacher goes, alright, you'll scrape through, buddy, we'll just give it to you. Nope. Failed. The next few goals I had to do with series continuations and series that I wanted to pick up the next book of. And looking at this, I didn't do that either. I wanted to actually start again the Saga of the Noble Dead, which starts with Dampier by Barb and J.C. Hendy. I did not do that. I also wanted to continue on with the Witcher series by Andreas, I can't pronounce it. I didn't do that. I wanted to continue, why did I put this in continue? I haven't started the series. The Patricia Briggs series, urban fantasy romance, I think it is. I was curious about it and I wanted to try it, and I did not start or continue that one. Then we had the Jack Reacher novels by Lee Child. This was the first book, Die Trying was the first book I ever read on audio, and I did not continue on with that. I bought the second book, and then I just never listened to it. We're doing real well. I wanted to pick up the second era of the Mistborn saga, and I didn't do that either. Even with the Lost Metal coming out, I had every intention of going and reading Age 2, and I just didn't. I did pick up Exile by R.A. Salvatore, which was book 2 in the Drizzt series by R.A. Salvatore. That's a continuation for 2023, is to read, I think, the next 4 and get the first 2 trilogies read next year. Hopefully you've already seen that video. The Butcher series, the Jim Dresden series, the Jim Butcher, Harry Dresden series, obviously means a lot to me. I didn't continue on with it. I've read 2 of the Jim Butcher Dresden books. Dresden Files is the series name. Got it. I have read the first and second Dresden File books. They're fine. I hear they get better. I will go back to it one day. It was not this year at all. I didn't listen to the third book. I think I'll continue listening to them, and I just haven't. And then I wanted to continue on with the standalone novels by Joe Abercrombie. I read First Law in 2021. Had an okay time with it. Liked the character work, but it didn't do a whole lot for me other than that. And I wanted to continue on with the standalones. I did read Best Served Cold this year. I enjoyed it, but it was very predictable in my opinion. Again, character work is where Abercrombie shines, and being someone who is a plot-driven reader, the plot was just predictable AF, and you could just you could tell the formula the whole way through. It's like 100 pages, this is going to happen, X is going to happen, Y is going to happen, Z is going to happen, and it did. It was predictable, but once again, that character work and the wit and the quick writing, you know, what Abercrombie excels at, was there, and a lot of people like him for that, but I have not liked it enough to go back and pick up the second standalone yet. Those were the series continuations. I read 2. 2 books out of 8. Oi! What do we have next? Next up, I had the indie and self-pub reads that I wanted to get to in 2022. I did slightly better with this. So The Heart of the Bloodstone by Felina Wood was a cover that blew me away. I loved the cover, I liked the concept, the magic was, mesmerizing, and I did read this one and had a good time with it. Next up was A Voice of War by Zach Argyle. Not only did I read it, I read the next 2 and have completed that series. This is similar with The Look of a King by Tom Dumrell. Really enjoyed the first book to the point where it is the only special edition of something that I have on my shelves. I read Look of a King, moved on to No Place for Peace, and finished up with Where Heroes Were Born, and I completed that trilogy. Windsor Strife I did not get to, it is still on my radar. Illborn I unfortunately read in 2022. Blackstone Heart, this is a trilogy which is on my radar for a buddy read at some point in the future. I did not get to that in 2022, and I also didn't read Divinity's Twilight, but I have pushed Divinity's Twilight into 2023, so hopefully I'll get to that then. We did a little bit better with this one. We got 4 out of 7, which is the first passing mark that we've had whilst going through these goals that I had. From there, I had classics. There were some classics that I do want to read. I still want to read a lot of these, but they basically got pushed. The Count of Monte Cristo I have not read, but I can't be bothered to get that. I did buy a cloth-bound edition of The Count of Monte Cristo. I'm hoping to do an immersion read with this one where I listen to part audio and also read physically. It's a big book. It's probably going to take up a whole month of my listening time, or maybe even bleed into another month because I don't listen to audio very quickly. Maybe 2023, I'm not making any promises. Anna Karenina is another one that I would love to get to. I have the audiobook, I have the physical book, didn't listen or read it. The next one is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Didn't do that. Didn't read that one. I did read Dracula by Bram Stoker, and I did read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley and loved both of them. I really, really did enjoy both of them. The last one that I had was the Stephen King's. I wanted to read in 2022. I did not read Under the Dome. I did not read 11/22/63. I did not read Rose Madder. I did read The Colorado Kid. The Colorado Kid was like 200 pages, and I read it on January 1st, and that was the extent of my Stephen King reading, I think, in 2022. I really did not pick up very much from Stephen King at all, if anything else. I thought I read Gerald's Game this year, but apparently that was 2021, so maybe next year, King. I don't think Stephen King cares if one person doesn't read his books because he has such a following and a fan base. But the Under the Dome, 11/22/63, and Rose Madder are all books that I want to get to next. Whenever I pick up a King next, they are the ones that I do want to get to. So, what I've discovered is I like to make ambitious goals and I don't like doing them. So let's see if I do any better with 2023. That was fun. That was eye-opening for everyone. I hope you all had fun. If you like the content, give it one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will. I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.